Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, has called for a cultural change at the National Insurance Scheme that will allow the organisation to operate in a completely new mode. Dr. Singh said government is fully cognizant of the efforts the NIS has been making in serving the nation. He stressed, however, that the same energy needs to be redoubled and become visible. The finance minister was at the time speaking at the recently hosted trainee inspectors and nurse sick visitors graduation ceremony at the NIS Sports Club, Carivesta Avenue. The Ministry of Labour and the Ghana Police Force on Tuesday signed 2 agreements aimed at offering training to youths in vulnerable communities and training for retired police personnel. Minister Hamilton said the latter training will prepare police personnel for life after the police force. He noted that for the youngsters, the aim is to equip them with skills and knowledge to become employable.
We are attempting to have a holistic arrangement between the Ministry of Labour bit and the police force. 2 aspects the MOA will revolve around. 1, training and even reskilling of persons in troubled communities in conjunction with the police force and the Ministry of Labour, the Board of Industrial Training, that will be involved. And the second issue is preparing police personnel for life after police force. And that has started.
Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Higgin pointed out that this partnership plays into the force's 2022 to 2026 strategic plan for a more skilled and professional police force, which plays a greater role in community development. All local products for export will now carry the Made in Ghana stamp of approval from the Ghana National Bureau of Standards. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Unit Walron made this announcement during a certification ceremony for Fibertech Industrial Plastics at Agriculture Road, East Coast, Demerara on Tuesday. The manufacturing company is the first to obtain the approval on their locally produced goods after going through a 5-month certification program with GNBS. Development of the Made in Ghana certification was conceived to obtain 2 objectives: to develop Ghana's local manufacturing capacity, the first being a trusted mechanism which will help consumers to recognize products exclusively made in Guyana. The mark will guarantee that all items manufactured have 60% of local material input and has been produced by a company that has at least 70% Guyanese labor force. The mark will also assure consumers of the quality of the items being manufactured in Guyana. Adolescent vaccination campaign to kickstart when school reopens. Here's Shaquan Gill.
With schools set to reopen in the upcoming week, Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony revealed on Tuesday morning that the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, will soon be launching a vaccination campaign in schools across the country to increase the uptake of COVID-19 vaccinations.
We have been talking to the Ministry of Education. We want to promote some school-based vaccination programs where the ministry would be sending in the vaccinators to school, and we'll be able to administer the vaccine there.
The minister highlighted that for quite some time, vaccination numbers have been stagnant. The school initiative, however, is expected to boost the numbers significantly.
There is a lot more work to be done with this age group. Unfortunately, we have been seeing maybe like 100 to 200 vaccinations a day, and that includes both first and second doses. So that's pretty low. And these numbers have been stagnant for quite a while, and I'm hoping that with school reopening shortly, that more parents would give permission for their child to get vaccinated.
Moreover, the Ministry of Health has conducted several vaccine hesitancy workshops, continuing to educate persons about the importance and need for COVID-19 vaccination.
The understanding is if our healthcare workers and other stakeholders better understand the reasons why people should be vaccinated, they can become champions of getting people to be vaccinated. And we're hoping that they can talk to people and help to organize these vaccine drives.
Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onit Walren, accompanied by Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, spearheaded a community outreach at Kausila Park, Lenora Region 3 on Wednesday. The meeting followed a recent visit to the region by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. In addressing the concerns raised by residents, Minister Indar announced that some $69.3 million will be expended to upgrade the Lenora Market Old Road. The asphaltic concrete road will span approximately 343 meters in length and will feature a tarmac which will mitigate vending on the access road.
This is designed to bring everybody who's selling at the front inside. So this thing with people, at the back suffering and they the one who got to pay, and so it got to come to an end.
Meanwhile, the tourism minister addressed the Guyana to Barbados Gold Market Hub initiative. The gold market will facilitate the sale of Guyanese crafted gold jewelry in Barbados. It is a partnership recently inked between President Ali and Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Minister Walren said the initiative will generate great economic development, expanding the tourism sector while allowing Guyanese to showcase their craft. So far, 2 buildings have been identified in prime areas with a high tourist influx to house the jewelry store fronts.
Give our jewelers that opportunity. The Guyana's gold and Guyana jewelry is in high demand in Barbados. And so the 2 countries have decided to come together where we provide a place in Barbados for the a space for our jewelers to be able to sell their craft and sell their jewelry. I went to Barbados. They've identified the location, 2 possible locations for the jewelers to set up a store. Barbados and Guyana will be jointly financing the setup, and our jewelers will then be put in place.
In addition to the storefront, a Go Invest office will be established in the sister CARICOM state. So far, 110 jewelers were contacted, and 4 jewelers and goldsmiths will be visiting on April 29 to decide between the 2 buildings. Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, on Tuesday led an outreach to a number of East Kanji Berbice villages to address residents' concerns. The first stop was at the New Forest village, where Minister Rodriguez announced that the community will have access to water and electricity for the first time.
So while we want to celebrate and we want to have these big plans for the region and for national plans for the country, we have to ensure, bottom line, that people are taken care of. So the 20 households that live in New Forest matter.
The minister also engaged with residents of Betsy Ground, Gangaram and surrounding communities who complained of the poor water quality they're receiving. Currently, the residents of Betsy Ground and Gangaram are receiving potable water from a well in Gangaram that is managed by the Rose Hall Estate. Minister Rodriguez has committed to engaging the management of the estate to immediately improve the service.
With this 3-step process that we agreed to, both communities will benefit. Gangaram will have an improved supply, Betsy will have an improved supply, you'd also have an improvement in the quality. Let's examine how this works for a few months, and then we can revisit. Okay, I know you expressed concern. I know the young mother at the back expressed concern. They're not receiving any water. We have to think about them too. So they're not receiving anything, not a drop. So we're going to try our best to ensure that the water reaches them to an acceptable level at least. An acceptable level where they can continue not paying for the service, but they must receive water.
Minister Rodrigues' visit was a follow-up to President Dr. Irfan Ali's meeting at the Rose Hall Welfare Ground as part of a cabinet outreach last Monday. She was accompanied by Regional Chairman David Armagan and a team of technical officers from the Central Housing and Planning Authority, Ghana Water Incorporated and the Ministry of Public Works. Meanwhile, despite complaints of poor water quality, residents within the communities of Betsy Ground and Gangaram, Region 6, have opted out of receiving potable water from the Ghana Water Incorporated. This was the general consensus related to Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodrigues, during a meeting with residents on Tuesday.
The meeting had representatives of both residents from Gangaram and Betsy Ground. And the overwhelming majority stood up and said they do not want to switch over to GWI. They will remain with this receiving water from the estate. That water is free, and they were not willing to switch over to GWI to receive a bill. Nevertheless, I offered two interventions. One, I will contact the estate to see how we can get them to improve their level of service and the quality of the water there by constant maintenance of the well. And secondly, we offered through GWI to go into the community to service and repair all of the leaks and the distribution lines that are in the community. So that should help to improve the level of service and the quality of the water that they are receiving.
The meeting was a follow-up on behalf of President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali as residents bemoaned the situation during his regional outreach last week. Currently, the areas are served by a well under the Rose Hall Sugar Estate, and residents are not billed for their water supply. While a fraction previously indicated their interest, they have now chosen to keep the current arrangement in place. GWI has since visited the community and started the necessary repairs. Minister of Housing and Water Colin Crowell, speaking at the launch of International Building Expo 2022 on Wednesday, noted the rapid pace at which Ghana is developing, even as it is faced with many challenges and global uncertainties.
Our government has already provided an environment that is investor-friendly and incentive-rich. Guyana is experiencing major development, transformation, and adjustment, and we welcome all those who will join us on this trajectory.
Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodrigues, said home ownership is important to the government and therefore it has implemented a number of measures to allow Guyanese to have easy access to loans to build or purchase their homes.
We have been able in such a short time to accomplish all of the targets that we've set within our timeline for the short period of time that we've been in government. And you know you can compare the track record. I know everyone here follows the news very well, so you know about the track record from the previous administration, and you know what we've been able to accomplish in such a short time.
The expo, slated for July 22 to 24, was officially launched under the theme A New Frontier for Building a One Guyana. The first international building exposition was held under the PPPC administration in 2010. It brought together homeowners, prospective homeowners, and entities from the construction, manufacturing, and services sectors. Guyana and Brazil continue to face similar challenges in getting their population fully vaccinated. This has led to a collaboration between the two governments through a Pan-American Health Organization and United Nations Children's Fund program for wider vaccination coverage across countries. Director General of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Vishwa Mahadio, who spoke during the launch of the Vaccination in the Americas 2022 campaign in Bonfim, Brazil, said health workers play a critical role in persuading citizens to get vaccinated.
We need to come up with new, better, innovative approaches.
Precisamos então surgir com novas abordagens.
Because we as health professionals, we as health workers, we know what is right. It is our duty to convince that parent, to convince those who need to be vaccinated.
Porque como profissionais da saúde nós sabemos o que deve ser feito, mas é o nosso dever convencer a população.
That vaccine is good.
de que vacina é boa,
Vaccine is safe.
é segura
Vaccine is
e
necessary
necessária.
for not only for the individual, but for the community at large.
And staff of the Ministry of Agriculture on Friday benefited from a health and wellness fair held in the ministry's compound. Services provided included eye testing, blood pressure, dental care, cholesterol, and body mass index testing. Minister Zulfikar Mustafa told DPI the event aims to provide staff access to medical services and information to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
And as a government, you know for a fact that we are spending a lot of money, a lot of budgetary allocation. Large budgetary allocation is being spent on health and fitness and wellness in our country, because we recognize the importance of the population's health, and we want to ensure that we spend these allocation effectively so that our people can be healthy.
The minister noted that since assuming office, government has been able to transform the delivery of healthcare service countrywide for citizens' benefit. As such, he expressed hope to soon host quarterly health and wellness fairs for his staff to do regular medical checkups. The initiative is a collaboration between the Health and Agriculture Ministries and was in observance of Occupational Safety and Health Month. That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.